Everybody, it's me, Kurt, and welcome to episode 5, can you believe it, of Kurt's Blurts. Are you rested up from last week? Last week was a big adventure. It was kind of a large undertaking for me because all the special effects. Did you know there were special effects in last week's episode? I'm sure you did. I'm sure you were overwhelmed by that. That takes a lot of effort, people. I don't know how to do anything technical, so that was like somebody going, here, we need you to pilot the space shuttle and without any training. I mean, seriously, it's like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? So anyway, so that's sort of what I'm doing this week too, so it probably looks like it. But anyway, hey, here we are at Bob's Burgers. Can you believe it? I love this place. And today I'm going to talk about some of my favorite TV shows. And also I'm going to talk about some movies that I've seen this week. I've actually caught up on like 3 movies that I've been missing out on. So I'm going to have some reviews on that. And actually, speaking of which, let's start with the movie reviews. All right, let's talk about some movies that I've seen this past weekend. I'm actually catching up on my movie watching, so sorry that I've been a little behind on that. We're going to start with the new Aladdin from Disney. I think this movie taught me not to prejudge movies, because I saw the previews and then immediately I saw everybody's comments on Facebook about, oh, Will Smith looks terrible and all this looks terrible and this is going to be awful and blah, 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 blah. And so I went to see it without really having heard any other reviews since it came out. And I really enjoyed it. I thought Will Smith made it his own. You know, Robin Williams' shoes are impossible to fill. Nobody will ever be able to fill Robin Williams' shoes. So therefore, kudos to Will Smith being able to come in and make that genie his own. It was fun. They revamped the music a little bit, which I thought was kind of cool, a new take on the music. The new song was fine, I thought. One thing I thought was odd was the guy playing Jafar. His voice was a little weak to me to be Jafar, because I'm so used to Jonathan Freeman, who did the voice for Jafar in the movie, which above and beyond. And to me, that's what I kind of want from Jafar. I want him to be so overly dramatic. Eventually, the guy's voice, I was fine with that. And I liked the fact that Iago, the bird, was just a parrot's voice, you know, and just doing asides every now and then. It was funny and it was used appropriately and it wasn't cartoony and anything like that. Actually, looks-wise, a better actor to have played Jafar would have been I can't think of his name. This is going to drive me crazy. Sorry. He was their lead security guy. The actor's name is Numan Assar or Numan Akkar. I don't know how to pronounce his name. But he has such a cool look. And I thought he would have been a good Jafar. But anyway, that all being said, I still got teary-eyed at parts of it. I still got goosebumps in parts of it. I still laughed at a lot of it. And one surprise for me was, Nasim Pedrad, who was on Saturday Night Live, and she was in it. I thought she was great. Her character, I thought that was a great addition to the story and that she really added a lot to the movie, and she was very funny. Her delivery on everything was so great and so funny. I'm going to invent a new rating scale for movies, or 0 to 5 blurts, okay? A blurt is a good thing, so if I give you a blurt, that's a good thing. I'm going to give Aladdin 4.5 blurts. I'm not going to give it 5 because the cinematography in it got a little weird at times. It was a little herky-jerky when they're running through the village and stuff. Like they cut out every other frame or something on the film. It just got a little odd during that scene. It was a little off-putting. There were times when the CGI was a little off-putting for me. But other than that, I liked it a lot. So 4.5 blurts from Kurt. Thank you. Wonder what the next movie's going to be.
Spider-Man, does whatever a spider can. Spins a web any size, catches thieves just like flies. Look out, here comes the Spider-Man.
All right, yes, the next film I saw was Spider-Man Far From Home. Finally, I know it's been out forever. So, you know what? I liked it. I love Tom Holland. I love him as Spider-Man. I really do think he's like one of my favorite Spider-Mans, just because he plays a teen very well, and he plays the, hormonal angst very well, and the non-confidence very well, and I love the homage the movie paid to Tony Stark throughout the whole thing. Peter Parker doesn't know where he fits in anymore in all this Marvel universe, so it's kind of amazing. I like that part of it a lot. But even though I know Jon Favreau didn't direct it, it still seemed very self-serving for him or his character, which I'm okay with, but I'm just kind of like, he's dating Aunt May and all that kind of stuff. Spoiler alert, sorry. Which I thought was fun, but then it was just, I don't know. And, I don't feel the danger anymore in these movies because it's all CGI, smoke monsters and fire monsters and water monsters and all that stuff. And you just kind of know, well, they're gonna make it. It kind of takes the danger element out. So I never felt any peril. I never felt like there would be consequence to all this damage. I still enjoyed it. I still was not bored. And the ending credits, the thing that happens in the ending credits, I won't tell you what it is, but oh my gosh, it's a game changer for Spider-Man. So I'm really excited to see what happens next on that. So I'll give Spider-Man 3 blurts. Yes, Spider-Man Far From Home, 3 blurts from Kurt. Wonder what the next movie's gonna be. That's right, my third and final movie review is for The Lion King. You guys, this was really, really wonderful. It was a wonderful scene for scene reanimated version of the original animated film. I know they're calling it the live action, but I don't know if any of it was live action. At times I felt like maybe the scenery was live and all the animals were animated, but it was so seamless and it was amazing because you just forget they are not real animals. It's stunning animation. But it was just a scene-for-scene retelling of the original story. James Earl Jones, I want to hear him talk all the time. He still sounded great. Alfre Woodard was wonderful. Beyonce was wonderful. Her new song Spirit was nice in the movie. Donald Glover as Simba was great. But the people that stole the show, Timon and Pumbaa. Of course, it's Billy Eichner and Seth Rogen. And Billy Eichner, if you don't know who he is, he does Billy on the Street. It used to be on comedy, one of the comedy channels or something. And oh my gosh, it's so funny. I think you can watch him on YouTube now. But they're hilarious. He harasses people on the streets of New York, asking them questions and making them play random game shows. And he was on Parks and Rec for like 2 seasons, last 2 seasons. So he was brilliant. And Seth Rogen was great as Pumbaa. But at the end, there's a big climactic scene. And Timon and Pumbaa are supposed to create a distraction. And the way they do it made me laugh so hard. I laughed and clapped for like a minute. I missed the next minute of the movie because I was laughing so hard at it. And the entire audience was. It got the biggest laugh of the entire movie. So that being said, I'm going to give The Lion King 4 blurts. I would give it 5, but they didn't do anything extra with it. They didn't add to the story or do anything different. It was pretty much scene for scene retelling. So for that reason, I'm just going to give it 4 blurts. So go see it if you haven't. If you have seen it or any of the other movies that I reviewed, let me know in the comment section. Tell me what you thought, or tell me something that you've seen that you want my review on, because I'm going to the movies all the time and watching TV all the time. If there's a show I should be watching on TV, let me know. Okay? So thanks, you guys. Wonder what's coming up next.
I wanna know what you're thinking.
Well, hey, everybody. People have asked me questions about my favorites. And so I thought, what better place to do it than here on the set of Cheers? Kidding. We're at Central Park from Friends, okay? I let that coffee cool off for a few minutes. Let's talk about some questions that people have asked. So first of all, we're gonna go with Vance Prestwood. It's a cool name. Vance Prestwood, live at 5. He asked, do I or anyone else from Voctave watch the Voctave reaction videos on YouTube? So a couple of people had watched them back when we first got started, when our Fly medley came out and then the Love medley with Kirsten Maldonado came out. We started seeing reaction videos, and I had never heard of that. I didn't know that was a thing. The first one I ever saw, there was a girl from the UK. I don't remember her name, and I don't think her channel's on anymore. I can't find her videos anywhere online. But I loved her. I thought she was fun. She would have like colored streaks in her hair and be in her bedroom talking about the group. And she started calling the Sopranos her queens. She's like, oh, my queen. And I loved that. I thought that was so awesome. I even commented on one of her videos, and then she freaked out in her next video going, I think Kurt from Voctave has sent me a message. And she thought somebody was playing a joke. And then I was like, no, it's really me. You know, it made her nervous that somebody from the video she was watching her watch the video. Anyway, but you know, I love seeing, especially if I really feel like it is the person's first time watching the video or hearing the song, because I think that's so neat to see that kind of reaction. I get why those kind of videos are popular. Some of the people that I have watched that I've really, really enjoyed, there's Jay Smoove, who he is this big Polynesian dude that looks like he would just kick your butt in a heartbeat. But then when you hear him talk, he's such a sweetheart. He's such a nice guy. And he sincerely to me seems like he feels, you know, what he's talking about, and he really feels the music and he feels the passion that goes into performance. I like his heart. He's got a big heart, so I like watching him. There's MA Productions, which is Marco and Ollie. They crack me up because they don't really react much, but when they do, it is so genuine to watch them. When we were doing the Disney Love medley, but when they're watching that and they hear the high notes, you see Marco start laughing, and then at the end they're like, it was great, but those backup singers, oh my gosh, and they were really overwhelmed by Voctave, so I thought that was fun. Hey, fun side note on that video, I am singing on that song. I am actually on the vocals on that song, but I'm not in the video. I had an audition callback, and I actually booked the show, so I'm glad I went to the callback, but I missed the video with Kirsten, and I hated that I missed it, but I drove really fast and got there before the video shoot was over just so I could get a group shot and make sure I was in the shot. So I'll post that in the video so you can see how, like, I have proof I was there, and it was so sweet because when I met Kirsten for the first time, she was like, oh my gosh, I recognize you from the videos. And I was like, I recognize you from Pentatonics. So that was kind of cool. There's Simply Food by Ty. Oh my gosh, Ty, this guy cracks us up. A lot of people in the group watch him because sometimes there's been inappropriate things in the background in some of his videos that have made us laugh way too much. But he's the one that called me out. He goes, yes, Frosted Tips, talking about my hair for the Christmas videos, which I loved because it was the first time I had shocked my hair blonde in the front. And he called me out on it, and I loved it. It made me laugh really, really hard. There's Sarah and Deandra. Yeah, Sarah and Deandra, who are on Headspaced. I think it's either Headspace or Headspaced. They're great because they just seem like they're big Voctave fans. And I love when fans watch it and they just love it and love our videos and love what we do. So I like them a lot. They're cute and fun to watch. Lastly is Tara Simon of Tara Simon Studios. And she's a professional vocal coach, watches videos. And I no offense, Tara, I thought she was going to be pretentious when I watched her. And she actually knows what she's talking about. And she talks about technique. And she's there to teach people proper things and improper things. And we do a lot of improper things. I'm not going to lie in Voctave, okay? We do a lot of shallow breathing. And when you have to do quick breaths and stuff, you do a lot of chest breathing and not diaphragmatic breathing. In the long run, it's all about getting that sound out. And sometimes you got to do what you got to do. But Tara was so sweet and so complimentary of our videos. We reached out to her because we knew she was going to be in Florida, and we happened to be doing a Christmas concert at one of the resorts. So she came by. You can watch one of her videos. Is actually her coming in. It's like oh my gosh, I'm here, a surprised Voctave. Well, we knew she was coming, and we had to get security to let her in. But she came in and we talked with her, and she was a delight. She was really, really sweet. She's been a huge supporter of ours. And so thank you, Tara. I just appreciate her stopping by. That was a really fun moment for us. So to answer your question there, Vance Prestwood, long story long, yes, we do watch the reaction videos. Lisa's Little Life from YouTube sent me a question. And the first one is, what is my favorite TV show? One guess. No, it's not Friends. Actually, I love Friends, but I just happened to be here at Central Perk and thought it would be a great place to answer questions about favorite TV shows. So my favorite TV show of all time, you guys, it's The Brady Bunch. Of course it's The Brady Bunch. I am the missing Brady Bunch child, okay? When Cousin Oliver came on, that should have been me. It's just I was still a wee little baby when that happened. And then the show went off the air before I had my chance of being adopted into the Brady family. And I grew up on like Carol Burnett's show. I loved the Carol Burnett show. Who didn't? Everything I know about being funny, I owe to Carol Burnett, Law Wagner, Harvey Korman, Tim Conway, and Vicki Lawrence. Nowadays, I tend to like the animated shows because I'm so into the voiceover work. So, of course, Bob's Burgers is my favorite animated show, along with anything Seth MacFarlane does, which is Family Guy, American Dad. I used to love Futurama when it was on. I love The Simpsons still, even though I don't watch it like I used to, but 30 years, I gave it a fair shot. Oh, South Park. I love South Park. And then as far as live action goes, I love Stranger Things. Of course, you should know that about me by now. Let's see, Brooklyn Nine-Nine is one of my favorites. I like the early seasons of Modern Family, not so much the past couple of years. It kind of jumped the rails in the writing a little bit, sorry, but I really like the first 4 or 5 seasons of that. I love The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. I'm really sorry that went off the air because I thought it was so weird and funny. And what else? Oh, The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. I think that's on Amazon Prime. Love that show. It's so well written, I think. And then older ones like Friends and stuff like that. I used to love 30 Rock when it was on. I loved anything Tina Fey does, I love. And on the same spectrum, my other favorite show of all time, besides The Brady Bunch, is Parks and Rec. I loved that show, you guys. I loved it so much. I was so sad when it went off the air. The first season is kind of finding its way still, but then after that, it goes gangbusters to the very end, and it's amazing, and I fell in love with all the characters, and the actors were brilliant, and the writing was brilliant, and I loved that show so much that I actually got to propose on the set of Parks and Rec out in California. A friend of mine was an extra, Chris Chen, who you might know him from Bowling Guy on the Geico commercial that's on right now. And he also does ballroom dancing, and he catches the trophy at the end. That's my friend Chris. He was an extra on the show. When Amy Poehler's character, Leslie Knope, gets engaged on Parks and Rec, she runs outside, and Chris is actually the first person she shows her engagement ring to. So Parks and Rec, definitely my favorite, that and the Brady Bunch. So Lisa also asked, what's my favorite color? Purple. Which then leads me to, she asked, what's my favorite movie? My favorite movie is The Color Purple, the original 1985 movie. I love it so much. It's Whoopi Goldberg's first film, and you guys, it is her best acting. I think it's the best acting she's ever done. And it's Steven Spielberg, and Quincy Jones did the music. Hello. But I mean, it's Oprah Winfrey's first movie. My other favorite movies of all time, Young Frankenstein, brilliant, brilliant cast. It was Terry Garr's first film. Madeline Kahn, don't even get me started. Everything she does is phenomenal. I love Madeline Kahn. And Clue, remember Clue? Flames on the sides of my face. She's brilliant. Did I say Star Wars? The original Star Wars. It impacted me as a kid. When I saw that in the theater, I saw it like 10 times, I think. I was in the theaters. I even had all the bubblegum cards, and my 6th grade librarian let me put them in the display case in the library, because if you turned all the cards over, it made a giant poster. So I remember that being a big deal to me, to get to display all my Star Wars bubblegum cards, because I had the entire set. I still have them. They're worth nothing because eBay, everybody's got the bubblegum cards, so who cares? It's worth $10, you know, woo. And then a film that I bet most of you have never heard of, I know a select few of you should go see. It's called Girls Will Be Girls. And what I love about it, when I was doing Chitty Chitty Bang Bang in New York, the guy that was sharing my dressing room, I just discovered the movie, and he goes, well, you know, one of my best friends is in it. And I was like, what? He goes, yeah, he's the lead. His name's Jack Plotnick. Look up Jack Plotnick. He's done a ton of TV work, but he's the lead in it. There are no women in the film. Every character, even the women, are played by men. And that's what makes it funny, because the other leads in it are the drag queens Coco Peru and Varla Jean Merman. And it's brilliantly written. It is so off color. It is so twisted. It is everything that goes on in my head. It is so wonderful. So if you get a chance, see Girls Will Be Girls. And then the last question, favorite number, 13, because I was born on the 13th. I was born on a Friday the 13th. And the other one is 32, because every school bus I ever had, no matter where I lived, and I lived in a bunch of different places, my school bus number was always 32. Isn't that weird? The last question is, how old are you? I'm old enough to know better, but I'm too old to stop now. Sorry, hey everybody, I love you all. Thanks for watching. Thanks for indulging me. Make sure you keep supporting Voctave, keep supporting me and these Kurt's Blurt. Stop by Voctave's merchandise page at voctave.myshopify.com. Also, download any of our CDs anywhere music is downloadable, and you can even buy them at cdbaby.com. And thank you again for all the support and the love. I hope this has made you smile once again this week. And coming up in a couple of weeks, I'm so excited. I actually get a chance to go preview Galaxy's Edge, the new Star Wars land at Disney's Hollywood Studios. So I'll let you know how that is. So keep watching, okay? And if you have questions, always send them in. Make sure you post them on my Facebook page or in the comments of the YouTube posted videos, okay? Thanks, you guys. Bye.